Hi, I'm Paul Friedman. I'm the founder of the Marriage Foundation, and we have an interesting question today. I don't think it's quite the rage that it used to be, but it's a great out for marriage counselors to come up with this idea. And the question is, how often does a trial separation work? Now think about this question. Trial separation. What are you trying? You're trying separation. How often does it work? Well, does it work in terms of extending the separation? Because literally, that's what it's saying. And the reason traditional marriage therapists and couples counselors use it is because they don't know what to do. Now, I love marriage counselors, don't get me wrong, as people, because they want to serve people. But the teachings, the Western psychological teachings that are part and parcel of traditional marriage counseling, it doesn't work. Their teachings talk about opening up problems, going into the past, taking a look at our histories, taking a look at our childhoods, traumas, and the like. Well, who cares? You got married in order to be happy, right? You didn't get married to be miserable, to suffer. You got married to be happy. And what's the most guaranteed way to experience happiness? Guaranteed? Not money, not sex, not vacations, not a big home. Love. Love. Love always brings happiness. What is the purpose of life? To be happy, to find truth in happiness. So if we seek happiness in life, what are we seeking in marriage? Well, if we get married to be happier, then obviously we got married because we believe, and it's right to believe, that marriage brings happiness by fulfilling us with love, but we don't know how to be married. And marriage counselors don't know how to be married either. And it's unfortunate. I know hundreds of them, or I knew hundreds of them. I've lost touch with so many because I've been doing this for so long. And I've trained many of them, and I can tell you they're good people. But no one has exposed to them until we've come along the essence of why we get married, which is insane when you think about it. So think about it. We get married to be happy, and we should be getting happier every single day of our marriage. We should be having ever-expanding love in our marriages. Now, if you've been following, if you're a subscriber, then you have a sense of where I'm going with this. If you're not, you should subscribe. Love is what it's all about. The prime directive when you're married is to learn to love your spouse unconditionally. But what happens? What happens is, and when I was a divorce mediator, I could tell you what happens. Rock solid. 100% of all marriages that get a divorce, one thing is true. Over-familiarity has taken over the couple's lives. They treat each other like dirt. They're inconsiderate of each other. They put themselves ahead of their spouse. They speak to each other in ways that they would never speak to anyone else. And yet this is normal in marriages. Why? Well, we watch TV, we go to the movies, and that's where we've learned how to be married. We didn't learn how to be married from true marriage experts. No. Now you can. You could read one of my books, you could watch these videos, you could read my articles, very affordable course. You could learn how to be married now. But what happens is our marriages go into crisis, We head for where we're taught to go, to marriage counselors, but they're traditional. They don't know, unfortunately, and I love them again, they don't know what they're doing. They reach the end of the line and they go, well, maybe we should do a trial separation. And what they want to say to you is, maybe you'll see how much you miss each other, but you won't. You will feel a relief that you're not putting pressure on each other anymore. And then that trial separation almost always turns into separation. It's unfortunate. And that's not what you want. You got married to be happy, and you can have it. You got to learn how and apply what you learn, and you will have it. I promise you. There's a mechanical component to everything in creation. Creation is up, down, left, right. It is a dual world, a Newtonian world. What goes up comes down. And the dots always connect. And it's true with the spiritual aspect of marriage too, which is the only important aspect of marriage, to be quite honest with you. The effort to achieve happiness and love is what marriage is all about. When you learn it, you lift yourself, and then your spouse comes along. You learn how to live on a higher plane of consciousness. And that consciousness that is on a higher plane, this is not a big religious talk or even a spiritual talk. That higher plane of consciousness is called happiness. That's it. It's just happiness. What's so radical about that? But you're not doing those things which bring about happiness, are you? Be honest. When was the last time you told your spouse how handsome they are or how beautiful she is? When was the last time you praised your husband or your wife? When was the last time you smiled at each other without expecting a smile in return? And if you got something other than a smile in return, you turned into a vicious person against them. And then bam, you're in this cycle, this downward spiral. Isn't that true? Because we live in a cause and effect world, or we live on a plane of love. And we have to learn how to live in love. In love. That's why there's that expression, in love. And love is not an emotion. Emotion is part of the mind. You're not the mind. You're the soul. Not religious. You're the soul. You have a mind. You have a body. That you can understand. Well, you also have a mind. You also have free will. The mind does not have free will. It's just a machine. And so what happens is we identify with the emotions in the mind, which are software products within the mind. We identify with the instinctive reactions. We identify with the fears and the sorrows and the ups and the downs instead of identifying with ourselves as loving souls. There's a lot to learn about marriage. It's simple. I have simplified it, but it's extensive and you need to learn it. So for sure, subscribe to this channel, but also look into getting one of the books. They're cheap for what you get. Look into getting the course. It's almost free considering what you get. You deserve eternal, constant, ever-increasing happiness. You do. This is God's gift to us. He loves us. He wants us to feel that love, and there's no question about that. And marriage is a setup for unbelievable levels of love. Unbelievable. We suffer because we are not knowledgeable. But now you can be. I'm Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation. Go to our website. Take a look at our Ask a Counselor page. See if there's a question you want to ask, or just see what's available on our website. God bless you. Like this video and take care. Take care. Thank you.